Another Sunday, another week of Joel Ohm's album rankings. Previously, I done a video ranking 10 of the most underrated rock metal albums of 1987. Well, today, I ranked 10 of the most underrated rock and metal albums of 1986. As usual, when you're done watching this video, feel free to go back and watch all my album rankings videos. The playlist is always in the description box. Here we go. We kick it off in 10th place with Inside the Electric Circus, the third studio album from Wasp, which was released in October of 1986. According to Blackie Lawless himself, he had been critical of the album, going as far as to name it the least favorite Wasp album that he totally disliked. He called it a tired record done by a tired band, which was true. Since its release, it made it to number 60 on the US Billboard 200, where it remained there for 19 weeks. According to Canadian journalist Martin Popoff, he considered the album a slightly more simplified and hard rock based than previous works, and reminded in his review of how Lawless, in retrospect, considered this record as a failure, which he was right. Standout tracks included Inside the Electric Circus, 95 Nasty, Restless Gypsy, and of course the Ray Charles cover of I Don't Need No Doctor. Next. In 9th place is Orgasmatron, the 7th studio album by Motorhead, released in July of 86. This was the follow-up to 1983's Another Perfect Day. After they left Bronze Records on bad terms, Motorhead kept touring without the benefit of a record deal. In spite of the fact that they were cited as a key influence for the thrash metal subgenre that was becoming popular with heavy metal fans within the mid-80s. Every record label had passed on them, so they made up their own little label called GWR, Great Western Road Records, to release the new music. Orgasmatron featured such songs as Death Forever, Dr. Rock, Built for Speed, and of course the title track, Orgasmatron. Next. In 8th place is Ozzy Osbourne's 4th record, The Ultimate Sin. Released on January the 24th, 1986 in the US, February 10th in the UK. This was 2 years after Bark at the Moon. The album was awarded platinum status in May of 1986, and then double platinum status in October of 1994. Well, here's the story about Osbourne's Ultimate Sin. It was Osbourne's then highest charting studio album, as heavy metal was enjoying a surge in popularity during the mid-80s. Despite the commercial success, Osbourne cites that The Ultimate Sin is his least favorite solo album. Even though I like the songs like The Ultimate Sin, Thank God for the Bomb, Lightning Strikes, Killer of Giants, and of course, Shot in the Dark. Next. In 7th place is the debut studio album from Tesla, called Mechanical Resonance. Released on December 8th, 1986 by Geffen Records. The album peaked at number 32 on the Billboard 200 on April 3rd, 1987, and was certified platinum by the RIAA on October 5th, 1989, 3 years after its release. Mechanical Resonance features the songs Easy Come, Easy Go, Coming At You Live, Getting Better, Modern Day Cowboy, and Before My Eyes. Not a bad studio album from a band formerly known as City Kid, right? Next. At number 6 is Nasty Nasty, the third studio album from American glam metal act Black and Blue. It was produced by Kiss's Gene Simmons, with the exception of the song I'll Be There For You, written and produced by Jonathan Cain of Journey and Bad English fame. This album was the follow-up to the 1985 record Without Love. It features the songs I'll Be There For You, Kiss of Death, and of course Nasty Nasty. The title track is the basis of the Kiss song Domino, which will be on Revenge 6 years later, and also contains the ending riff of Only You. Both Kiss songs were credited by Gene Simmons himself. Coincidentally, guitarist Tommy Thayer would join Kiss in 2002. In 5th place is Sam Hain 3, November Coming Fire, from Sam Hain. an American death rock / horror punk band from New Jersey. It was released in February of '86 through lead singer Glenn Danzig's independent record label Plan 9. November Come and Fire was Sam Hain's last album before Danzig signed the group to Def American Recordings, now known as American Recordings or Def Jam, and changed the band name to Danzig. The album contained a re-recorded version of Halloween 2 by Glenn Danzig's previous band, The Misfits. It also features songs such as Kiss Up Steel, November's Fire, To Walk the Night, and Human Pony Girl. Its legacy continues to be an influence for both punk and thrash bands. Next, in fourth place is the self-titled debut record from Vinnie Vincent Invasion, released in '86. Vinnie Vincent Invasion was put together after Vinnie Vincent himself was terminated from Kiss. Now, 6 of the album's songs were originally demoed by Vincent himself in '84 for a possible inclusion of Kiss's follow-up album to Lick It Up. 2 singles were released, Boys Are Gonna Rock and Back on the Streets. Robert Fleischman sang lead vocals on this record, but as soon as the music video came out, Fleischman was replaced by Mark Slaughter. The standout tracks include Boys Are Gonna Rock, Shoot You Full of Love, Back on the Streets, and Do You Want to Make Love. Next. In third place is Judas Priest's Turbo, released in April of 1986, produced by Tom Elam. Turbo is a follow-up to Defenders of the Faith. This album is notable for the band's change in commercial glam metal sound that had them using synthesizers for the first time. Since its release, it went platinum and went number 17 on the Billboard 200. Originally, it reached number 33 on the UK charts, but in 2017, it made it up to number 7 on the rock and metal charts as well. The standout tracks include Turbo Lover, Locked In, Wild Night, Hot and Crazy Days, Parental Guidance, and Hot for Love. Next. In second place is Journey's Raised on Radio, released in April of that year, produced by Steve Perry. In my opinion, this album looked more like a Steve Perry solo album than an actual Journey record. But in all fairness, it went to number 4 on the Billboard 200, went double platinum in the States, spawning 4 top 20 singles: Girl Can't Help It, I'll Be Alright Without You, Suzanne, and Be Good to Yourself. This would be the last Journey album until 1996's Trial by Fire, when the old Don't Stop Believin' era band got back together. And in first place is Constrictor from Alice Cooper, released in October of 1986. This one marked the return of Alice Cooper when he took a hiatus from the music industry after 1983's Dada. Well, by the time he came back with Constrictor, he had a new band put together with the first studio album to feature Kane Roberts on guitar and Kip Winger on bass. The first of 2, I might add. This album returned Cooper to the charts at number 59 after his 2 previous studio albums failed to crack the top 200. The song The Man Behind the Mask was part of the Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives soundtrack and became a number 1 hit in Sweden. It also featured the song Teenage Frankenstein and Hard Rock Summer. One of the songs did not end up on the album. The title Great American Success Story apparently was intended as the theme for the Rodney Dangerfield film Back to School, but it wasn't used, so as far as I'm concerned, this was a nice comeback for Alice Cooper. Here is a quick recap of the 10 most underrated rock metal albums of 1986. Now, Inside the Electric Circus is the worst Wasp record Blackie Lawless ever produced. Orgasmatron from Motorhead had limited commercial success. The Ultimate Sin was and still is Ozzy's least favorite album. Mechanical Resonance from Tesla didn't get platinum status until 3 years later. Black and Blue's Nasty Nasty is an underrated gem. Sam Hain made the transition to Danzig with November Come and Fire. Nice debut from the Vinnie Vincent Invasion post Kiss. Turbo achieved another platinum record for Judas Priest. Raised on Radio, as I stated, was more of a Steve Perry solo than an actual Journey record. And Constrictor from Alice Cooper proved that the shock rock king was back, despite the fact that he had the man behind the mask with him. This has been Joe Lum's album rankings.
No,